Hi, I'm Mark McPherson. Welcome to one of my videos in my series of videos where we take a look at what I call the 52 types of people who are poorly behaved and at times downright difficult. In this video we're looking at type 41, the complainer. Now let's be honest, we've all complained about something at some time in our life, surely. Well, I most certainly have, and let me give you an example. A little while ago, our internet was not working properly. Sometimes it was slow, sometimes it was simply not working at all. So I rang the internet service provider and I got onto a customer service agent or whatever they're called at the call centre. At this stage, what I was reporting was simply something not working properly. The internet was not working properly. I was reporting some valuable information and I did want the internet fixed. So at this stage it wasn't a complaint, but after a few phone calls, eventually they decided that a technician would need to come out to our property. And the time was booked in, like they said they'd be there between 10 and 12 on a certain day. Fine, I can handle that. I know that they can't give an exact time. But when it came to 12:30 and the person hadn't turned up and I hadn't had a phone call or a text message that there was a problem, I called the customer service agent, I called the call centre, and I did actually say, this is a formal complaint. You said you were going to turn up at a certain time. No one has turned up at that time. No one has told me that there's a problem and they'll be late. So I said it was a complaint. Now let's get this straight. I did not talk loudly at the person, I didn't abuse the person, I didn't yell at them, I was not rude or in any regard. I simply made a formal complaint. Now, this is very different to a person I call the complainer. The complainer complains a real lot about anything, and they escalate things very, very quickly from being a problem to a complaint. They complain about anything, anytime, and they will complain at length. So nothing is quite right to the complainer. You're out to dinner with them and the meal isn't quite right, the lighting isn't right, the service isn't quite right, the music isn't right, the tablecloth isn't right, whatever it happens to be. These are the people who they're upset when someone's parked in their street and it's not parked properly. They want to ring the council about it, or the garbage isn't collected properly, or the garbage bin isn't put back exactly the way they think it should be. They complain about things on a continual basis. At work, these are the people who complain about everything. The staff meeting isn't right, the minutes aren't right, the lighting isn't right, their desk isn't right, someone doesn't do a proper job. Now, it's not that these things aren't necessarily correct. Quite often when a complainer complains about something, what they're complaining about is actually a problem. But the complainer doesn't let it go. They will complain, they will complain, they will complain. And here's a funny thing about the complainer. Often, not always, but often they won't complain to the person who can actually fix it. They'll simply complain to other people and annoy them and go on about it. Why don't I just leave it there? I think we've got a bit of an idea now about what the complainer is. It's not that the complainer doesn't have something legitimate or reasonable to complain about, it's that they go on about it to anyone about anything. It's like they're not happy unless they're complaining about something, and it can really get us down. Whatever you're doing and wherever you are, please look after yourselves, look after your friends and family, and I do hope to chat to you soon. If you'd like to talk to me, just go to the contact page of my website, for example. There's a few ways in which you can get in contact with me there. All the very best.